Habari ma Africa, asante kwa kutazama King Said So. Well, finally, after many young children have been unalive, eating poison from shops that are really not supposed to be open in the first place, the president of South Africa, Cyril Ramaphosa, has made time for us to address us and give us a solution to this problem. And the solution you would have thought would have changed everything, but unfortunately is the same old, same old. So I want to speak about this thing of how small business and historically disadvantaged people's businesses are going to be affected. What do you think is going to happen? Who do you think is going to benefit from the black businesses, Indian businesses, Pakistani businesses, Somali businesses closing up? Which businesses do you think in this festive season is going to benefit from all of these bylaws by the president that they are setting right now? Well, I don't know. We have to talk about that. There's an EFF MP by the name of Cyril, who was addressing the president of the Democratic Alliance in Parliament, Honorable John Steenhuisen. But the way she addressed a serious matter about the employment of Roman Kaepernick, I did not like it. So I want to show you guys that there is a difference on how our politicians should act, especially in Parliament, when addressing a serious issue. So I'm going to play a small clip of Andile Mngxitama, and you guys will see what I mean about that. Again, I will repeat, because I've been saying this, I think, for 4 or 5 months now. ZUNGULA should join the EFF. Some of you don't see the strategy that your boy King is trying to implement here. But I'm telling you, ZUNGULA should join the EFF. In fact, ZUNGULA from the ATM wanted to join the EFF when this progressive alliance was set together in a meeting and were told to join the MK. He said, why don't we rather join the EFF, because it has a national footprint. If the CIC does not act now and lobby in ZUNGULA, I'm telling you, the EFF is going to miss a good opportunity. But I want us to discuss that and much more.
Welcome to King Said So, Africa's one land, one language, one currency, one army on King Said So. Africans can unite. Your Pan-Africanist podcast. Enjoy.
Blackheart, the hustle continuer. Made to inspire your goals and dreams. 100% good quality clothes are now available at affordable prices. T-shirts, hoodies, sweaters, bucket hats, and more. Place your orders now. 06847366908. Instagram Black7576. Facebook page Blackheart.
Peace in Pan-Africanism to all my African brothers and sisters from all around the world. Welcome back to King Said So. I'm your host, Kagiso Hlongwane Zinchiva Sono. Mr. Is Imalene, and we're back at it again with another one. And I'm telling you right now, our president made time for us. Finally, because we must always ask, who president? President Atiniena. It's not like Jacob Zuma. Jacob Zuma, when something happened today, tomorrow you will see him calling a family meeting. Tomorrow is reshuffling the cabinet. Like you did not struggle to hear the voice of Jacob Zuma because he faced so many controversies. He needed to clarify them now, time and time again. You know what I'm saying? But our president, Matamela, is a more laid-back type of a person. He trusts his cabinet or his soldiers to do the job, but they never do it right. So finally, after clarification of what these children what type of poison these children have eaten, how many children has actually been unalive eating these things, that is funny, that is only happening to African children, but it's funny that is also happening from also, hey guys, yes, Angas. But let's hear quickly what the president had to say about all of these things? What type of implementations, strategy are they going to implement going forward?
The following measures will be implemented with immediate effect. To get hazardous pesticides off the street, we now have directed that the Spaza shops, which have been implicated in the deaths of children, must be closed with immediate effect. All Spaza shops and other food handling facilities must be registered within municipalities in which they operate within 21 days from today. Any shop that is not registered within 21 days and does not meet all health standards and requirements will be closed. The South African Police Service and other law enforcement agencies will be required to investigate, to arrest, and to prosecute offenders.
Yeah, listen, if you expected some type of groundbreaking solutions that our government is going to implement and everything is going to be okay, they're going to start with some aggressive funding of black businesses, build manufacturing firms in the townships to produce their own biscuit and Zimba chips. And if you are waiting for those type of stuff, forget. We've got the same old. The president says the shops that were implicated in the deaths of the children must be closed. That's not an announcement. We've been waiting for that. How many more children had to die for this announcement to be made? And again, I will repeat. How do you know for sure, is that shop or is it the factory or where? How do you know? Because some of these goods I've noticed actually, and someone pointed it out, are not even made in South Africa. They come, they say Mozambique. Some of them, they're coming from somewhere in Africa and they are coming here. So did they open it and pour the poison inside? There's just so many things that we don't understand. He says Spaza shops and food handling facilities must be registered. How? They were not registered. And you knew they were not registered. And you are saying now they must be registered in 21 days. Do you have the system, the software system, the hardware system to record when you are, hey, my friend, do you know how many Spaza shops are there? You know how many employees are there in the Spaza shop, one Spaza shop? 4 or 5 cousins, 4 or 5 friends, 4 or 5 in one Spaza shop. And you are telling me that in 21 days, all the Spaza shop in South Africa are going to be registered with which manpower, with which employees. Remember, Kotongwane has cut budget for all sectors. So the municipalities, they can't employ, you can't start a new unit, you can't do anything. You understand what I'm saying? It's not going to be practical in the 21 days. Let me tell you how it can be practical, because in South Africa we can make things happen. And you'll go on the comment section and correct me if I'm out of order. But if you pay Jojo, and of which South Africans are going to operate with Jojo, in December, boss, they're going to be taking Jojo. Many of these, my friends, carry cash, contant. They carry cash. They're going to buy themselves through the line, in front of the line, through the system. Food inspectors, tuck shop inspectors will be giving out certificates like they were out of fashion. You go into these shops and you look at the kitchen where you guys are buying amakwenya and ama chips. And you're like, what on earth? How can people eat food that comes from this type of environment? Just anyway. In fact, it's not just my friend, even I'm a KFC and whatever. I would walk and I'll be so observant that I see something that makes me just walk away. That's me. That's your boy King. So when you invite me to your house, please, man, don't. I'm from into these snacks. We were at a funeral and someone was marinating the chicken. Was it a funeral? No, it was a tombstone unveiling. Someone was marinating the chicken, and with a nice spice. At the end, after marinating this chicken, she then licks the spice off her fingers. And I'm like, I'm supposed to eat that food. I'm sure Dagi, baby, the serious. So these tuck shops, they really, hygiene is a problem in most of them. Some of them, Bayazama, Shemawa, Lesotho sisters are working in this tuck shop. They are cleaning. So some of them they try. Not all of them, of course. We don't want to put them in one bracket. Listen, let me tell you something that you don't know. The shops that are going to benefit from all of this is your supermarkets. Your supermarkets are going to benefit from all of this. You guys can go and check who is going to cash from all of it. It's December now. You close all of them, my friend, the shops. You close all, or let's not say all. You close 80% of them. 20% is left to function. In the townships, we know that our supermarket are already there. Pick and Pay, but some of the supermarkets, we are going to flock to them because there is no place close to buy a 2 liter. A 2 liter bread. So we're going to flock into the white businesses. And there in the white businesses, we're going to find ourselves now, like the profit margin is going to hit the roof for December. If the ANC actually implements what they're trying to implement successfully. Let me ask you a question. Because, so my friend, we are going to the factories and we are doing that. Are you not noticing a specific sector that we are not touching? My African, put South African first, people. Are you not noticing a sector? I asked you guys when that Utami Ntuli, the premier of KwaZulu-Natal was going to the factories. And I said, guys, I see them going to the factories. I saw the EFF working, going to this business, close the... I said, when are they going to the farms? I worked in a farm, just 35 kilometers here in outside Kimberley in Richie. Just outside Richie. I'm telling you, farms operate with undocumented African brothers and sisters. Everybody knows this. You will not see any police van. You will not see any MEC, any MMC. You will not see any premier. You will not see the president. Nobody going to the farms. Why? Food security. Bayabasaba balungu. I am my friend, but they can attack them. Our brothers and sisters who are cutting our hair, they will attack all black businesses. Or like I said, the historically disadvantaged people, the Indians, the Somalis, the blacks, all of them, name them. They are going to be attacked. They will never touch white business. Never. And you guys are okay with it. Okay with that. You guys, all of you, go to a farm. I'm talking about mega farms. I'm not talking about a smaller nyana farm. Mega farms. A farm that is producing a turnover that a balance sheet that is heavy. Go to the farm and look at the staff, the people on the ground who are working. Go to the packers, those who pack the fruits, those who pack whatever. And check and tell me that you are not going to find an undocumented African brother and sister there. They will never do that. Baya basaba. And that's what makes me sick of this double standard that we have as South Africans. When it is a white person that commits a certain crime, it's okay. But when it's a black person, then all of a sudden, let's put South Africa first. Let us fight. When it's white people doing that, you don't even know what to say. I mean, people are coming now. They're fetching people, deporting people back from overseas who have been stealing billions of rand from Eskom in the term of Jacob Zuma. You guys were blaming Jacob Zuma and Brian Molefe. And people are coming out to say, no, these are the fraudsters that were stealing tenders there at ESCOM. We are saying nothing because it's a different skin color. Ngabe abantu bethu ngabe niyabashisa ngamatayela. You are living so comfortable with your colonizers and even greeting them. Goeiemôre meneer, hoe gaan dit? Oh, dit gaan goed. Oh, jy praat so mooi Afrikaans. Dankie meneer, ek het geleen. Ek was in Boys High or whatever it is. The way you guys are so yajabula man. We utlwa ole motlotlo a bua se a bolela sekgowa. Na ke le lebeletse. Nobody's saying, okay, after you are done with the tuckshops, can you please, in December, in January, start with the farms? We want to see something. We want to see something. They will never go to the farms. Hey, clickbait this part and tell them that King said so, said it, the police, the politicians, all of them. All of the MMCs of safety, MMC of food and whatever, of a small business, the MEC and the premier, the ministers, all of them will not go to the farms and harass farm workers. There is private land there. They know. Those people colonized us and took that land and they do as they please in that land. They are a law unto themselves in that farm. Nobody will go there. I'm telling you. It's fine. Harass my Pakistanis and my Somalian brothers and Zimbabwean and Nigerian. Do as you please. I'm not fighting anymore. I'm sick and tired because I saw, I'm a South African. They don't want land. They don't want minerals. They don't want anything. They just want jobs. Give a South African a job. A South African is okay. They don't care what they are walking on the land that their ancestors owned. They don't care. They just give them a job, a Golf 7, a townhouse somewhere. Bashap, I'm a South African. Most of them, not you who was watching my channel. You don't have a problem with this mine. But I saw someone who said, no, King, it's unfair what you are doing. The Zamazamas are stealing, harassing the community, and of which I know, and of which I'm saying crime is crime. Crime must be punished as Antonio. But when we come to the crime of taking the minerals of our country, I always ask, who gave these people, who opened that mine years ago, 45 years ago, 60 years ago, because these mines were there long time ago, 100 years ago. When was the diamond mines in Kimberley, in Kalinin, all over South Africa? Tell me, when was the gold mines formulated, started, established? Years ago. Who gave those people the mining rights? That crime, even if it's years ago, must not be forgiven because it's still a crime. Yes, this one also of Zamazamas, yes, it's a crime. Of course, that's what you guys are saying. But why does the black crime supersede the white crime? Anyway, have I covered everything on that regard? Yeah, so I wanted to say with the tuckshops before I forgot, because we must read some notes. You saw your president was reading notes. I mean, what you were saying there, your president, did you feel like he's speaking from the heart? Does he feel any pain that some children died? Or did he just read and said, God bless South Africa, uNkulunkulu abusise Africa, Khotsian South Africa, amen, bye-bye. Yeah? Emotionless. But anyway, you come to King said so if you want to see some real emotions. Mas jabulile. Mas ngajabulanga. Uzositolerate or uzostola later. But anyways, the member of parliament from the EFF, Usikolisa. Okay, let me play the clip and let's discuss it after that.
No Johnston Hazen. Beqesha abasebenzi abacalucalula abantu abamnyama kwizikhundla eziphakamileyo kubasebenzi abamkhasayo nangona bengaqualify for ezi positions. Ubhengezile ke uJohn ukuba umcelile lo Roman Kabanaka uba arhoxe. Ngoku ke minister ndiyabuza uba ingaba uyakwazi na ukusiqinisekisa ukuba uKabanaka lo uselilungu labasebenzi bakaJohn o ukuba Niyaniphazamisa.
Honourable Member, please take your seat.
inga-
There's a point of order.
Okay.
Honourable Member, your point of order.
Thank you, Honourable Deputy Speaker. I would like to request on point of order that the member refer to the Minister as the Minister, not as John. Thank you.
Thank you, Honourable Member. Yes, that is in terms of the rules that you do not refer to a member only by the first name.
Mr. John, Minister, uyambona mos lapho uthi usandu register pha UNISA. Yeah, lo une metric Minister. Ndithetha ngayo. So ngicela ubuza Minister
Honourable
uba
Member,
ingaba
Honourable Member.
uyakwazi na
Honourable Member, I have said that we refer to members in a respectful way. You can either say the Honourable John Steenhuisen or Minister Steenhuisen, but not Minister
I said
John.
Mr. Deputy Speaker. I said
said-
Mr. John. I said
Mr. John Steenhuisen, to be
Mr.
specific.
John Steenhuisen.
Correct. Thank you very
Mr.
much.
John
We
Steenhuisen.
proceed.
Don't worry, Deputy Speaker. He's easy to identify, I'm sure. Lapho uthi wasem UNISA. Sandu registerisha. Ebethatha ifoto pha nabantu. I'm sure uMinister aka uyayiqonda uba ndithetha ngabani. Minister, mandigqibezele umbuzo wami. Ingaba uyakwazi usiqinisekisa na ukuba uCabinet lowo uselilungu labasebenzi baka Mr. John? O ukuba kunjalo ngaba uBas John wayexoka nangoku wayesithi umsusile uCabinet pha kwi-office yakhe.
Honourable Member, Honourable Member, Honourable Member, Honourable Member Delisha, please, I am addressing you. Your last remark in terms of Bas John is disparaging and against the rules. It is unparliamentary. Will you please withdraw that?
In African culture, okhokho bethu babe babizwa uBas. Bendicinga mna ndiyahlonipha Deputy Speaker xa ndizambiza uBas John. Kodwa ke uBas John man, luhlobo esihlonipha ngalo ngobu-African bethu wena Deputy Speaker, ungakhathazeki.
The EFF Mp, the question she's asking is a very relevant and a very serious matter. We know that the matriculant John Steenhuisen employed his friends who did not even qualify for the jobs that they were supposed to get, and then he employed Robin Kaepernick as the chief of staff in the ministry. So my problem is, Robin Kaepernick decided no, because John Steenhuisen came out and said, listen, I'm going to recall him, I'm going to ask him to resign. When he asked him to resign, that man said, no, I'm not going to resign. I had a podcast, I had a King Said So podcast, and I closed everything to come here, and now you guys are chasing me away. It's unfair. Because the Democratic Alliance does not want to look at the black qualified quality leaders that they have. They will rather go choose a podcaster somewhere and bring him. How can white in abangas for my podcast? Not is serious. I mean, Gayton Mackenzie was taking comedians and putting them in parliament. 20-year-olds in parliament. Tina was for I was born in a. I was tolerate or was tolerate later. But anyway, rest in peace, pro. So, Usisi Sikolisa, I had a problem in how she was giggling throughout the whole presentation. Because for me, it's a very serious matter, and then it requires a serious tone. You know, we know John Steenhuisen is a matriculant. We know he recently registered in UNISA, because that thing of matriculant is hitting him deep down. Deep down, he's not happy that as the federal leader of the Democratic Alliance that he's a matriculant. He knows that it's a problem. It makes him look stupid. There are people without a formal education, but they are well read, well learned. But there's others like him. When they speak, you just hear, seriously, I'm not matric la. There's nothing that he says that can inspire confidence in the DA voters. But anyway, that's their own problem. Let them vote for him as Qatar. So for me, my minister, especially MK party, EFF, ATM, all the black parties, I want them to do good in parliament, and I want them, when they speak, that there's substance in what they say. Don't dilute a serious argument with jokes and giggling. I don't know if you guys are going to correct me on the comment section or what, but when you point something out, point it out, man. Point it out. Because we want to know, did Kaepernick go or what? And now it's a joke. People are laughing and all of these things because we know he's a matriculate. We know. And when we remind him, it must be on a serious note. Like Umpile Mauto was telling him, he said, you need to go back to school because all the things that you are saying, they don't make sense. Because of 1, 2, 3, here are the facts. Then you shut a person up. But this thing, matriculate is a sport. Because when someone addresses Parliament, this is how I want them to talk.
Honorable Douglas, members of the Progressive Caucus, honorable members. Honorable Chair, in 1510, some 40 years before the arrival of Jan van Riebeeck and his thugs, the Khoisan had already defeated the Portuguese colonial thieves. Today, this parliament must recognize the warrior spirit of our Khoisan ancestors, who in 1510 defeated Francisco de Almeida, who served as the viceroy to the Portuguese state. This war was the first full-scale war in defense of our land, cattle, and other natural resources. Our Khoisan ancestors set the blueprint of anti-colonial war through taking the lives of the colonialists who waged a successful war against the colonizers. So our Khoisan ancestors defeated and murdered these colonizers. This victory must be recognized by all justice-loving people.
Very few South Africans understand what South African native means. Very few South Africans understand this war that Andile Mngxitama is talking about. Andile Mngxitama is, for me, by far the best politician in terms of Pan-Africanist ideology in South Africa. For me, you can argue and give me someone else, it's fine. We can argue on the comment section. But for me, Andile Mngxitama is number one. The 1510 war that he's talking about, Francisco from Portugal. These people already conquered Angola. I've got an Angolan friend who, when he came to South Africa to study here, he did not know English. All he could speak was Portuguese. They finished there. They fought with the Khoisan 3 times. They went to reinforce 3 times, and the Khoi and the San won those wars 3 times. They then went down. They passed the Northern Cape down to the Western Cape to go and settle in the Eastern Cape and reinforce strongly to come and fight us now properly. And they did find the San people there. And I always try to preach this thing that the Nama, the Khoi, the San, it's not the same clan. It's not the same clan. They grouped us and called us one thing, which is Khoi San, which San meant South African native. You guys know what Khoi meant. You guys Googled it nicely for me last time. But they just bungled everything together there. So when you address Parliament, that's the tone that I want to hear from a parliamentarian who understand that they are not there for jokes, they are there to work. So I'm because you see with the DA, the ANC, sometimes the EFF and all of it, it's this joking, name calling and all of those things. Like, hey, you get paid 1.4 million to come and make these jokes on our behalf. You think we don't know where Trevor Noah stays so we can go listen to jokes? Anyway, let me end this video with this matter of ZUNGULA. And please give me a chance to break it down for you guys, because I listen to politicians on a different frequency. In fact, that's the type of frequency I operate in life. When you speak, I take in the words. I observe the energy, because we have got a discernment spirit. And I then see different, how do I explain this, man? Angazi ingqondo yami is wired differently. Let me just say it like that. So when Julius Malema spoke about Vuyo Zungula in that meeting of Andile Mngxitama and all of them who are sitting there in their Progressive Alliance caucus trying to see what is the best way, when Jacob Zuma invited them to say, guys, come join the MK. I'm going to open a political party. Let's all drop everything else and join this MK. The reason that Zungula gave showed me that Zungula is open to joining the EFF. And I want to tell you guys why, if why me am a politician anganglaleli? Why are they not listening to King said so? Okay, let me play the clip of Julius Malema.
I said, no problem. And then, again, Floyd and Marshall went back to the meeting to give their party structures a position. They came back and said to me, the president of ATM, Zungula, said, of all of us here, parties, the only party with a national footprint, which is properly established with machinery, is the EFF. Let's collapse this thing. Let's collapse all of us into the EFF. Olomeza was in that meeting. That president of the PAC was there. I don't know if Carl Neos was there or what. They were all there. I still refuse. I said, I'm not going. I'm not part. I don't agree with that. And then that's what they said. Zungula is the one who said, actually, the EFF is the way. Then Zuma responded and said, no. Can you imagine an old person voting for EFF? These old people will never agree to vote for the EFF. And he told them the footprint of how, if we come together, we're going to get the votes from where, and all of that. And then after the second meeting, we came back.
Vuyo Zungula, and the CIC repeated this twice in different interviews. Vuyo Zungula, ne? Lalelani. Vuyo Zungula said to Andile Mngxitama, what's his name? Floyd Shivambo, Marshall Dlamini, Nyonso from the PAC, and other leaders, Andile Mngxitama and Jacob Zuma, all of them, they're in one room. And he said, listen, because the MK was not formed yet, guys, please listen. Somebody from the EFF, listen to me. I voted for you guys. Listen to me. Listen to me. Vuyo Zungula said, okay, guys, I hear what you guys are saying, and I'm respecting what you guys are saying. This is Vuyo Zungula, very calm. Mr. Cool Guy. He said, if you guys are talking about disbanding all our parties and joining one, that party that we should join is the EFF. Listen to the reason. Listen to the reason. He says, because the EFF has got a national footprint. Now, if you are Julius Cyril Malema and you hear that, is that not an invitation to invite Zungula for some coffee at Senten at your house? And make some serious promises, especially post the departure of Floyd Shivambo? If I am Julius Cyril Malema, I don't care what the EFF says. I'm getting in a room with Zungula and say, listen, I'm promising you one thing, Deputy President. Number one. Number two, I'm promising you three. You only have one. Do they have one seat in Parliament? I think they've got only one seat in Parliament. I'm promising you 3 or 4, because the EFF has got 30-something MPs, if I'm correct. 30-something MPs. I'm promising you 4 or 5 MPs from your party. 4 or 5. Close your party. Come this side. Let us work. Why? Because I've got the national footprint that you're talking about. If you don't do that now, you're waiting for the MK to have the national footprint that Zungula is talking about. And then 2029, Zungula will be more open to the MK than he is to the EFF, because 2029, hopefully, even 2026, the MK would have that national footprint that the EFF has. Remember, he said this before going to the ballot. So he was considering numbers. The EFF was the biggest party in that room that they were negotiating. But now the EFF is no longer the biggest party. The MK is, in terms of numbers. So I don't understand how these politicians, in fact, most, when I say most, I'm talking about 99% of EFF supporters would welcome Zungula straight to the deputy president seat without a problem, without even voting. It can be divine appointment. They will not have a problem. Most of them. If you are an EFF member, go on the comment section and tell me King Utagiwe. Zungula expressed the interest of joining the EFF. Why Nimiega? Why? Because you guys said, no, Zungula and Jacob and Julius Malema, a character are going to clash. They're not going to clash. You need the yin and the yang in the EFF. It's the same thing with Floyd Chivambo and Julius Malema. The other one was flamboyant, it was out there, and the other one was strategic, quiet, more calm character that can relate to people on a different level than Julius Malema. You need the opposite. You don't need a loud mouth there. You need a Zungula. Do you want votes or don't you want votes? Because these people are calling your members, I'm a beggar, full of money. And when they want to play fair, these are politics. So for me, and I'm closing it up, for me, I'm saying, listen, call Zungula now, before December, before even the conference, and make a deal with Zungula and make the great announcement on the conference. Can somebody give me an amen in the comment section? Somebody say we are Kuluma King on the comment section. How it will be the news of the year if Zungula joins the EFF in this conference and then in the National People's Assembly, and then he's elected deputy president over Godrich, over what's his name, Batuvan, Marshall Dlamini, over Umpile Mautwe, over Sinawo Tambo, over all those guys. I would support the EFF like nobody's business with Zungula there. But you miss that opportunity and you don't listen. Hey, Lalelani, you EFF people, take this part where I'm talking about Zungula and send it to your leader. Do you guys understand what I'm saying? Send it to your leader. And bamthathu Zungula bamfake EFF bamthengele cold drink. I think it's for mahalala. How? Take Zungula, take him to the conference and make him the deputy president. The EFF will be rejuvenated like nobody's business. But you guys, man. And Lalelu King is talking and I'm Lalelu. But one thing that I like that you guys listen to me about is PASETA, the Pan-African School of Economics, Technology and Agriculture. You guys are donating like nobody's business. Listen, I told you guys we are having an event in March 2024. I went there for the booking. So the dates that are open is 2nd and 3rd April, which is March finish, the ends in during the week. So that weekend where March ends is the 1st and the 2nd of April, where we'll be having the event. Get ready. Get ready. The tickets will be coming for sale very soon. It is our fundraiser event. We'll be taking you guys to the site. sightseeing. We'll be having a gala dinner. Asking you Africans, please be ready for that. And there will be some prizes to be won there also, because I've got people that love Paseta like nobody's business. So thank you to each and every one of you who have donated to the Pan-African School of Economics, Technology and Agriculture, where we'll be teaching our children science, history, technology, economics, and agriculture, so that your children can be ready for the tomorrow of taking back our what belongs to us. Angazi yongithola later or uzongithola later. But anyway, thank you so much. I'm enjoying it so much. Please don't forget that we're trying to hit that 50,000 subscribers. We are 8,000 subscribers away from that. I believe we can do it. Just click the subscribe button if you haven't already, if you're enjoying the content. And I'm sure that you're going to be, you know, me and you are going to love each other here. We might not agree at all times. But I'm telling you, 90% of the time you're going to agree with me, and not agreeing is also okay. Ne? I've never claimed to be the almighty God of politics and Pan-Africanism. I'm still a young man, still learning, and I'm very humbled in that journey of learning. Sometimes I would make mistakes, I'll say something, and maybe sometime other video I correct it, which doesn't happen many times, but I'm a very open person to criticism that corrects me and tries to put me back in line. And most of you do that on the comment section, and I appreciate it so much. Until we meet again, don't forget to pray. But after you pray, stand up, African child, do your best so that God can do the rest. Peace and Pan-Africanism. I salute you.